Yeah, it's a big and beautiful night in Perth where the Western Force and Nick Cummins are celebrating 20 years since they joined Super Rugby. 2 decades back, they debuted v the Brumbies, and that same opposition are in town tonight looking to crash the locals party. Dolly goes to Swain up against his former side. They're rolling strongly here. They're over. Who's coming up with it? It's a mess of bodies. Is it Kuteka? I think it is. Donaldson steers through the conversion and the Force lead by 7.
Edge, playing the ball on the ground.
Ikitau tips it off to Valentini. Superb goal line defence this from the Force. Ikitau picks and goes. You can only keep it out for so long, and eventually Lenny cracks them open.
And you as well, Kooks. Now, guys.
Ryan Lanigan's there, Scott's there, so too Slipper. They go through the hands though, over the top, from right to Tool, try Brumbies.
They're great play again from the Brumbies.
Meredith from 5 in, floating it towards the post, and it's good for the Brumbies. It's a nice strike from wide out from Declan Meredith, and well, it's been a crazy old first 40 in Perth, and at the break, it is the Brumbies leading the Western Force 14 points to 7. Closer they get, the more steel they seem to have about them. Reimer trying to steal one in tight. A pick can go again. Here it comes through the hands. Penalty.
That's obstruction.
Obstruction.
Time off.
Time's off. Someone's going to the bin.
8, yellow card. You got back on the warning, and then you were clearly offside.
Nick Champion
And
to
I can't
Crepney.
allow that to continue because it's obstruction, and he's run
He's
straight
off for 10
behind him.
minutes.
But sure. The Brumbies looking to extend their lead. Short again. Try is
Right
it?
there, ball on the line.
Paul Williams gets in close. It gives it
He's on the
a
line,
forensic going
He's on the
over,
line.
and it is Hooper who scores. Meredith. Muirhead. Kunzel goes over him. Tompkinson. White. Skips out and goes through the legs. It's play on. Bury. Greeley reaching out and scoring!
Maybe, just maybe, here they come. The Western Force did really well, Matt Greeley, to stay in touch.
Early breeze. Donaldson draws it back though. It's a beautiful strike from Benny D. There for Lonigan. Wider. Tom Wright holds it up for Toole, who accelerates and gets it away for Sapsford in his 50th with the Brumbies. Ollie's in.
What a great example from the Brumbies. Work one way, then come back the other.
He came into the play for the injured Noel Searle, as mentioned by Tim Horan. Oh, he's hit it beautifully, and it goes through to make it 28-14. Sapsford already has one. Meredith through the hands. Wide for Toole. Toole accelerates. He gets over. Has he got it down though?
On-field decision is no try. I believe the ball has been knocked on in goal, so no clear grounding.
Yeah, so players touching goal,
Yeah.
so no try, goal line drop out.
Sapsford goes in. Toole, that's his 75 kilos. Bowen peels away, fights for the score. That's a big one. That's the bonus point try. And the Brumbies move themselves inside the top 2.
Gee, won't it be huge next week up against the Reds in Canberra?
Why not what? Well, it is a blunt force Brumbies win in Perth. They go into the top 2 with 3 rounds remaining. too good tonight for the Western Force at HBF Park. The full-time score, the ACT Brumbies 33, the Western Force 14.
Both teams seemed like they couldn't find much rhythm. Were you expecting that from the Force?
Yeah, you know, the first half it was just a tough grind. Like that was something that we spoke about throughout the week. That you know, whatever happened tonight, that you know we had to earn, and I thought that we built that slowly as the game went on. It took you know more than the half to do that, you know, which as I said before was expected. But just very pleased with that effort towards the end there.
Obviously, all our hearts were in our mouths when we saw Noah go down. How was that the next few minutes afterwards? Did it affect your performance in any way?
Yeah, I think it's always tough, especially when you see him in the neck brace and then getting carried off in a stretcher. You know, it's not a you know, a nice sight. So, yeah, just praying for him and his recovery. We'll probably get in the change room and see what the go is there. But we have full faith in our bench. You know, Dex played some good footy for us in the past, and yeah, there was nothing but trust. You know, when he came into the field.
The good news is you get to go straight back to Canberra. You're going to be there for 3 weeks, 2 home games and a bye. You must be excited to finish the regular season that way.
Yeah, you know, it's always good to be at home and play in front of our home crowd. And you know, next week's going to be another tough game against the Reds, who you know, put in a good game last night. So the boys will be looking forward to that one.
Well, Alan, congratulations. You're now second on the table. Hopefully a home final for the Brumbies. Wishing you all the best for the rest of the year.
Thanks, Cam. Enjoy tonight, mate.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, and we'll just bring in Nick White. Whitey, tough one out there tonight, mate. Obviously, you watched a lot of the game from the sideline. What did you see, and where do you think the Force fell short?
Yeah, I think we just we made some opportunities in that first half, but just didn't cherish the ball. You know, a few too many turnovers and just not taking those moments. A good side like the Brumbies only give you a handful, and you've got to be good enough to take them. So, look, it's been a work on for us for a while now. So, yeah, really disappointing. And then, yeah, just weren't good enough to chase them down. So, look, they're a good side, and they showed that tonight.
From the sideline, it looked like the Brumbies were very narrow. Were you expecting that, or is that something that sort of surprised the team on the field?
No, it's something we spoke about during the week and the way they play and in their shape. And, yeah, really just disappointed. I think a few lapses in D, a few blind folds, and you know, they're good enough to find space pretty easy. Certainly did it a number of times today. So, yeah, look, they showed how dangerous they can be, and that's where we want to be, that sort of side. So they're the benchmark in Australia, and yeah, we didn't measure up tonight.
You can certainly see the disappointment in you and the boys. You do have to continue, though. You're off to Fiji next week. How do you ramp the boys back up and make sure they get up for that one?
Yeah, look, we've just got to win. We've got to, yeah, it's as simple as that. You know, if we're any chance, if a team slips up, and you know, we've got to go over there and throw everything at them and see how we go. So, yeah, look, we'll dust ourselves off, and just disappointed from tonight. You know, it was a real special night for the club and weren't able to put a performance out there, but we're going to have to dust ourselves off and go to Fiji and try to find a result.
I can assure you everyone's still proud of you, mate. So well done. Bad luck on the loss, and all the best for the next couple of games.
Thanks, James.